And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the IGE Community Series. Of course, organized by the lovely people at IGE. They're bringing us this tournament again, and of course, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with my main man Krishna on the side to bring you all of the action for the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget that our official Gaming Wonder partners are none other than ViewSonic. They are the lovely people that are helping to make this entire community series come alive, and hopefully down the line, IGE, they're going to be making sure to bring us a lot more tournaments that you guys back at home can bring in your Valorant medal and prove to us exactly why you deserve to be at the very top. And Greshel, these two teams, they have made it through thick and thin to get to this point. Old Dogs versus the side of Vintage Gamers. Now, this will be one for the book. Sorry, it's Wash versus Vintage Gamers.
Absolutely. These are really recognizable players from the country we have here. So I gotta admit, I was not very surprised to see these talented players on the board and to have them once again on these stages. It's just a pumped up moment for all of us that these guys are coming back to the action, and obviously they're going to be having a lot more of impressive fashions. And I'm pretty sure the viewers we have at home are also going to be supporting their favorite teams here. Well, as you can see on your screen, as I was talking about, Babushka, Patus, Falcon, these are all OG players. So always a player from the side of Vintage Gamers as well, Aduu, Exly as well. Adoxcol, Lordnerf, Dskun, and it goes on. Astrik as well, but then again, I think he changed the username, so I can't quite remember if I've seen him in the OG days, but it's completely fine. They're here, and they're here to make a domination of themselves, and not to mention, as they're also sitting on the grand finals, they have fought for it, and it's anybody's guess at this point that they are here to mean business, and they will bring every single aspect to put themselves on the crown, and there is no such questions. We will not be disappointed tonight.
Absolutely. These players, they know what they're bringing on down to the table. A lot of well-versed Valorant. Plus, with the recent changes, ISO is now overpowered. Neon's going to be one of the best agents in the entire game. Plus, we're going to be heading over to the map of Icebox, so that's another big thing. Neon is very powerful on the map of Icebox, and I want to see the teams really start to pick up on it. I'm hoping that these guys don't default to something that they already have done in the past. It's very important to see how these new agents are going to be fitting on down over into the meta. Dskun already maybe picking up on that ISO, Jet being picked up by Exly. Now, this will be quite an interesting tale to tell to see what kind of agents these players are going to be picking up on. Very standardized composition, though, coming in from the side of Vintage Gamers, while on the opposite side, Udit maybe pulling our legs a little bit here, but even then, I'm not expecting that much of a different point to come out from him. The Jet could just be on the Arsenal, or maybe even that Neon. The problem is that there's not really any good Neon players in Bangladesh. I should know personally, right? Because I know every single player. I know their strengths. I've played with them for a very long time, and none of them really spike to be a Neon player. Okay, I just called it. You did though on a Neon. Now this is gonna be questionable. This guy has played Neon in my games in the past. I'm just gonna tell you that the old Neon didn't really suit his playstyle, but maybe he's gonna be able to pull off something big here. You did say that he was a big shot in Siege, so maybe he's gonna be a player that really fits this role properly.
Well, let's not go to the big shot as of now because that's gonna be a long conversation if I want to be honest. But at the same time, as we are seeing these compositions picked up, this is an indication they're starting to pick up the metas and everything. I'm not gonna say we don't have very strong players, or let's say for Neon and other compositions of agents, but these metas are taking some time to fit in, probably down the line as the season just came a couple of days ago. So maybe down the line, they're actually going to understand that, okay, this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do, this is what is the strongest part we can take advantage of, considering the nerfs and buffs from both of the sides. But then again, these are going to be some factors which will be answered by the players. But when it comes to these metas in particular, I believe if you catch up to these initially, you're going to have much easier victories in on the earlier stages of any tournament or any ranks as well, because a lot of players haven't quite figured out the counters of the plays as well. As of now, the counters will have to take some time because Udit's gonna go down very quickly in the hands of Exly. So I guess as of now, the composition they're trying to find out from the side of Vintage Game, sorry, from the side of Washed, they'll have to find a bit more of a footing because it kind of felt like Udit kind of walked in all by himself with no form of backups. But still, the attackers not quite falling back from the objective as they're really looking forward to commit this.
The thing about Neon is that her strengths really rely upon using a lot of chaos being created by your teammates and then utilizing
Stuns,
a
yeah.
slide to cause even more chaos. That's the thing. You can just zip around left and right, be a constant nuisance to your opposition. And when you don't really have that option or need to try to do it alone, mind you, without your wall, then it's going to be quite tough. Neon is all about creating a distraction that might just work. Astrik with the timing. He has the angle. Once has been spotted. But Astrik's positioning is perfect. He's going to be good for the first kill. He's looking for the multi. Misses the shots, but he still has the snake bite. Why did the snake bite go there? Questionable. It's completely
Geometry,
fine.
hello.
Last one to be spotted over towards the opposite end, and it's going to be fair and good for the first kill. But Aduu immediately comes in for the refrag. 1-0. Vintage Gamers, a good start, but kind of questionable how this round even started with Udit Deb dying.
My bet is that Neon is one of the few agents who actually can control the entirety of the team's spacing. Because think about it, yeah, Neon is a fast agent, but the teammates she has needs to be fast as well to make sure that the utilities and the covers are gonna be on position. Frankly speaking, Udit just went inside of A main and he didn't have any backups. And I'm not blaming his teammates or him though. But maybe here on out, their aggression is going to be much more prominent. And there onwards, it's be fun for them, but that's just one round. But then again, these rounds will start to gather up when these maps are going to be in the equation. But as of now, Udit, prime position is going to be taken, but will be tagged up by the Sova Recons, as the players have already known the location of the player's possession. And there will be some shots which will be dispatched, no confirmation, but Udit taking a lot of damage in the process. Not quite sure why he went into enemy territory without any cover once again, but hopefully this time he does get to lift it till the tail. But on this eco, no value has been fun. Even the chip damages would have been fun for them. No fun, no fine. As it's starting to crawl back into mid-side once again. It looks identical what we seen last time, Aggie. And if this time Viper finds the angles once again, it's going to be much more prominent.
They shot my wingman.
You know, a little bit further forward, and Adoxcol, free kill for him. Udit just going into his awaiting arms, not really expecting a lot of the fights that they should be taking. Aduu, good for the one kill, knows exactly where the last one's gonna be. Babushka though, still will be a huge problem to try and get a clear off. Mirror in towards the back, he has the angle, but the shots just connect from Aduu. The man, the myth, the legend. 2-0, and the Guardian reigns supreme in his hands. But at the end of the day, I would say this was a very successful eco run from the members of the side of Washed.
That is true, but at the same time, they could have gotten a couple of more kills perhaps, but then having 3 kills is not a bad thing, not to mention you also were able to, you know, get rid of 3, I think there were 2 Bulldogs, right? So as you were able to get rid of that Bulldog, at least, you can bank upon, but here on out, you'll have to start seeing yourself facing a little bit more pressure, because now your uniqueness, if I might, is to shine brightest. You see a lot of aggression on the B side. Mirza might be expecting it, as he has seen the Viper walls being placed. Rendezvous are gonna be in the equation as the Jet already makes the rotation, but these unpredictabilities. Yeah, more prominent as of now. Udit will be having the cover along with the wingman as well, putting it on a postman pretty damn quickly. Now on this postman, the defenders, they do have the crossfires to work with, but then again, the isolations will be a bit more of a challenging one in my opinion, because the YOLO control will be a bit more challenging to retake, but as of now, it looks like they have found some form of success, flashing out Udit from the vicinity. Babushka had a pretty prominent position, but Aduu back up with him with Exly, and now a lot of practice will be coming in as well. Udit with a 3, looking for more perhaps, but kills all none other than Dskun.
I'm out of here.
Make sure everybody dies, and 2 ones on the scorecard. A really dominant run from his side, and this time, I gotta admit, his repositioning, coming back to yellow, just was the making game for them.
Yeah, you then, man, this guy, he's already heating up, and you can tell that as soon as he has a gun in his hands, Neon just turns into a completely different agent. The speed at which you can take these entries, you can constantly surprise your opponents before they're even able to react. And that's the thing. People are so used to players just peeking out of angles normally that they forget one very important thing. The strength of a Neon really just comes from her being able to catch you off guard by playing for space really quickly. She can peek out of an angle, slide into you, and you're not even going to be expecting it. That's why you need to have perfect audio synchronization to know exactly where your opponents are going to be moving around it. Me, on the other side, I don't have perfect audio synchronization because my IEMs are dead. Plus, on the other side, I think I can hear the audio of the game properly, but you can tell me otherwise because the audio seems to be a little bit low.
A little bit, as it's on B max, but anyways. The players are starting to take some control on B main, but looks like it's a fake after all because there's only Neon vicinity along the Viper wall. So if that was a fake, that was a very perfect one because they're starting to swarm up on the A side. Looks like that is the case, which is also going to be read by the side of Exly as they're starting to walk inside the vicinity. But how far do you go with this? The Hunter is already deployed. I think on Exly, I'm not sure if it is. It is from Babushka, that's what I know. Never mind, it's actually from Aduu instead. Never mind. Asu's. Now, already touching both of the sides. Falcon good for one. Babushka good for a second one of himself.
Oh, look at Udit.
But still, Udit Deb! He's just playing Call of Duty all by himself. It feels like it is his domain, and we're just living in it. But now, as of now, Adoxcol does have the chance because both of the players in the opposition are super low on HP. One shot, just do it. But still,
Man's overthinking it.
carefully. Adoxcol, you need to fight the prize, but no, the angles, it was not isolated, but still nice attempt by Adoxcol. No complaints though, Falcon.
If any of you die,
Perfect angle. 2-2-2. Favor of none. Washed. So they have started to pick up their pacing as they have put the opposition on Nico. But still, this is not something you can cut. So you cannot put yourself on a comfort zone, if I might. Because frankly speaking, the defenders, if they start to slap back and if they find even one opening, that's where the attackers will have to rethink their decisions because once again they are playing unpredictably. But this is something which can also backfire upon them if they're going way too aggressive.
Absolutely. Ronaldo, Batu, flash in hand. He's gonna be able to take a forward swing, but this flash kind of landed in the most awkward spot. But I was thinking that this might end badly, but Batu still holding down this line strongly. Parkour's gonna allow him to receive his wingman. Receive his dizzy. Also on the angle, and Udit, he's just running around and doing whatever the hell he wants. The practice of Neon is paying off in the back. The man has the swing. He's looking for.
Well, he did find the kill. Bring some water in the meantime, Maggie. But yeah, the slides he's going for, and at the same time, the sheer aggression he's showing up. That's an indication that he's going to be exploiting the Neon buff as much as he can. Not even exactly an exploitation. It's more like a utilization, if I might, because I can't quite term it that way because it is in the game because the developers wanted it, and at the same time, it is a balancing change. Neon hasn't seen a lot of competitive play.
She didn't need a
rare occasions.
Like, I'll be very honest, Crystal. Everything else is a good change. I don't think she needed a second dash. If she didn't have the second dash, she would still be very powerful. Because normally, from what I've seen, people don't even use that second dash that often. They just forget it exists.
Now people will.
I know, but that just makes her even more broken.
Yeah. That I do agree. Then again, I guess that's exactly how they want to put a bit more of a dominance from the side of Neon because once again, Neon hasn't seen that much of a competitive play. So perhaps he just wants to see Neon in particular a bit more love compared to the ones we had back in the days from Jet and Raze because think about it, right? Jet used to I'm not saying it was broken. It was what we were introduced with, like Jet having two updrafts as well.
You should run.
But I guess now they're showing off, hey, we removed that, but we're gonna be giving it to someone else as of now. It looks like it's gonna be the side of Falcon. It's gonna be giving a lot of pain to the opposition, but Exly is gonna be able to put him down. But still, both the kills are lockdowns. The vicinity, Astrik is into enemy territory. Yes, he will be able to deploy.
Oh, hello there.
To destroy the utility. Oh, wait, that's a nice standoff. I wanna be honest. Now Exly. Very awkward position to work in. Nothing to do. I think he has the operator as well, right? So this is gonna be if he falls back. So let's to tell the tail. Oh, that's gonna be the thing. But the Killjoy's right on the corner, trying to deny the save. Maybe they're trying to save it instead because they don't want to risk it, or maybe they will. Who knows? It's a very awkward position to work in, but still a standoff, as I said.
Let's start off for all of this one though. I have to say, overall, the positioning was perfect coming in from the attackers. They really do know how to play their cards beautifully. Another opportunity for them, this Neon being utilized to its fullest. And you can tell that going in for a much more comfort-based pickup from the side of Vintage Gamers was not really the best play. Because look at their team overall.
Standing ahead.
They don't really have a strong way of taking entry. And a lot of players, right? And a lot of professional players, mind you. These days, Jet's pick rate has gone down by a significant margin. Raze is still being picked up, yes, because She's necessary to counter a lot of the Sentinel utility that people can still set up on maps such as Sunset and Fine. But that's it. Where does Jet fit into this meta anymore? She just doesn't. Why would you pick a Jet over a Reyna these days?
Poison orb emitting.
Plus, now that you have Neon to take fast entries over into the site, Jet has just lost her identity. Before, she was the only reason you would pick her is because of the AWP. Yeah, you can see the strengths of the AWP now in her hands. But as soon as they start sniffing out this AWP in the next couple of rounds, that AWP is not going to be viable anymore. Because Neon heavily counters this AWP because of how her movement works. And if they're able to isolate this Jet, she has to utilize all of her utility and have nothing that she can use later on in the round.
World.
30 seconds
They
left.
do have this in their heads by now, but as of now, they will have some control on BA side, and they're going to be able to go for the Vipers along with the Panther as well. Adoxcol, questionable if I want to be honest, but still, Dskun, brilliant shots coming in from his end as he predicted the location of the Viper as well. It's all about the killjoy. I really don't see this happening, my guy. Save the gun, literally till the tail, because pretty much everyone knows exactly where we're going to be coming from. Perhaps or perhaps not, but as of now,
don't let them take the AWP. Good. They couldn't get the AWP. It's actually a very successful round from them.
He also got 2 kills, so that's something which is also going to be able to get him some boost on the economy. Vintage gamers, either they'll have to invest on this AWP once again, or they'll have to switch their strategies a bit more. I understand they are using the operator to isolate the B side all by herself for the Jet, but how long can you overwhelm that? Because understand this, an AWP will be able to isolate the fights for so long. Once it's gone, you're just gonna be losing on an objective, and you're gonna be staying on postman. Second, you dead. It's for an aggressive take, but Adu's gonna predict that. Nice try, but he didn't have the angle, so
I'm confused at why he was going in through the bottom too, Krishto. Normally, as a Neon, you want to be zipping and zapping over from the top, using the ropes to try to bait out your opposition's shots. But that's the thing, like, not a lot of people know the exact entry pathing of how to use this Neon. Neon has a lot of really good tech that you can do on this particular map, making her one of the hardest agents to even kill or pin down. But that's the thing. Learning how to use it is one part of the game plan. Astrik making a bit of noise over towards the mid side. He's trying to bait out a couple of people to just look at it and slow down this take towards the east side even further. Trying to take the entry, the fight to be had. One over towards a close corner, a beautiful flash, and the ult just works out wonders. The Hunter's Fury opening up the entire side. Falcon's gonna be able to find one more. Astrik in the back looking for the kill. He's able to find the double. He's able to find the triple. Astrik showcasing to us exactly where the Viper in his hands will have no bounds. It's all up to Perry to maybe pull off something big. The smoke goes down, the flank does connect. He's looking for the last. He's already been spotted. Exly in the corner has full HP, but Perry still the danger man in this situation. Baited out the shots, but the swing is just gorgeous. Exly, he takes the kill. 4-4 as the defense, they hold strong.
Indeed. Gotta admit, the side of Watch, they tried the level best onto taking this backside, but when it came down to the Viper, they couldn't stand a chance whatsoever. Having the 3 kills all by himself, isolating the fights, and also making sure the his team has the upper hand. It's just amazing. Astrik, it really deserves a back pat at the moment, but as of now, the players still needs to take the lead. As Washed has a significantly, not exactly significantly, they have a decent buy to work with. Both the teams do, to be very exact. So there's gonna be a lot of ifs and buts. Sorry for the mumble, by the way. So I do want to know how Washed actually is able to, you know, play with the opposition's psychology. As of right now, it's really not happening. You know, now that I realize there was a close recon even last time, so that makes less sense about Ryuret's position. This time he's gonna go for the higher ground. Looks like he's trying to find some angles, but it's gonna be Aduu who's in the first line of defense, but not quite going for any form of peaks. Oh, if he gets 2 kills, that is.
No. His ult also gives him back a slide.
Oh yeah, that I know.
Go.
No, you read a couple of
risky.
from him. That is risky, but I think this is something he can utilize as of now because he does have an entry to work with, not a lot of HP. I wouldn't recommend using the ultimate though. Use it for a rainy day, save it for a rainy day, and then maybe find something for yourself. But as of now, Dshkun's position is something I'm really worried about. Udit should be able to capitalize on it, and he does, but it's gonna be Exly, who was also there, but so far he can go with the operator. He'll have to save this with low HP who has on his pocket as well. Look for a couple of exit frags, but even that looks really unlikely. Save the gun and probably go for the next. It is a bit more complicated in my opinion because once again, when it comes to the W gaming, somehow the vintage gamers are not able to hold it off. And if Washed understands this, trust me, they're gonna be up against a huge fumble here.
Yeah, that's the strength of having a Neon on your team. You can just easily go in for these fast rushes, and there's not really a lot of things that your opponents can do to try and stop you. The way that you can control space, the way that you can take over everything here, that's the biggest factor. But overall, I would really say that utilizing this Neon and making sure that you utilize all three of those dashes is one of the biggest concerns, I would say. I want to see Udit maybe perform a little bit more parkour over from the top side, utilize his movement to the best of his own capabilities, try to force your opponents in a bad situation, and I really don't think that's gonna happen. This is the strength of a Neon, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that hitting a shot like this is gonna be hard. This is the biggest factor of it all.
Spike planted.
Tell me about it. And as I said, that's gonna take a lot of trigger management as well because your positioning of your crosshair is also gonna mess up thanks to the Neon. But as of now, that's gonna be off the board, but so much he can do for with Aduu, that is. Being tagged up by the Mosh. He does have a shape to work with, but I don't see this happening because Fatus knows exactly where he's gonna be. No jump cue made either, so that's a confirmation that he's stuck in a corner. Washed. Pretty much confirmed that they're either gonna be having a first equal half or maybe a lead perhaps. But then again, the opposition had an equal, so I will cut them some slack, but here on now they'll have to be a bit more careful because they understand the opposition is going for rushes and they're not taking the prison whatsoever. There are sheer amount of speed from the side of Wash at the moment. It's just unrivaled, and rightfully so, because the players combined with the Neon, they're also showing a lot of aggression. It's not Udit alone anymore. Again,
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
For now, though, little bit more of a forward position coming in from Exly here. He's playing it risky, but that's the thing. The Neon can easily go in for these trades. The possibilities are endless, and for this exact reason, Neon is just one of those characters that you really cannot run away from. One more opportunity and a kill.
what do you do? What do you do from this?
I'm out of here.
You cannot run away from this character.
Last
There's a
round in
reason
the
why
half.
I keep
I'm
telling
outta
you,
here.
you cannot run from a Neon. As soon as you know that he is on the enemy team, you need to take that second duel because the Neon will come to run after you. The trades that this character can gain, it is incredible. That's why I keep telling people that the new meta will be ISO and Neon. ISO goes in first, even if the ISO dies, or let's say Neon goes in first, and then the ISO just peeks out with the shield, and you can guarantee yourself a kill. And if the ISO dies, Neon can just use her second dash to slide in, get the trade, and you still regardless get a 4v4 in your situation. It's a win-win. There's no way to counter it other than utilizing a lot of utility to stop the second player from making their way towards you. But even then, it's very difficult because the Neon has the dash. It's just a dilemma now in Valorant. It's all about understanding what your opponents can do with abilities. It's no longer about your aim alone. You can't out-aim these type of characters. You need to outthink them. And hopefully, the members of Vintage, they're going to be able to do that moving on down the line, because if they don't change up their strategies, this one Neon could easily just take over the game from them.
That looks like a possibility.
Even more than he already has.
That is there. I do want to, jinx my words here if I want to be honest, because it does look really, inevitable at this point. But then again, there should be a moment they should be able to get their heads together to find one thing that your opposition are using this thing as a crutch, perhaps. But then again, countering this is not going to be the easiest of the forms. Investing in utilities, burning bees, gonna be a huge aim of the game. But as of now, Falcon is gonna be the person who's gonna be going hyper aggressive instead of Udit. That's exactly what they've been looking forward so far. Now, Flash are gonna be there. Udit is also gonna be going down as he was not flashed, but still, utilities are gonna be pretty much unpositioned as of now. Exly good for one, coming in. 2v4 situation. Do not fumble this, I would say, but still, the Killjoy ultimate is really weird. They're starting to burn a lot of time, but still. They can walk in the moment they can find the opening. Terror will be finding one onto Astrik, and now the call is going to be going down. No players have been detained. The shots are going to be connecting, but still, Exly doesn't have a gun to work with. We'll see a gun in the distance. We'll recover just that, and now sight should be there to control. Terror has taken some damage, but that's going to be a problem for him as the Sova is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting, and as of now, that's going to be working out as well, probably, but no, Terror! The recoil's not going to be connecting, but Adu's going to take a lot of damage to survive this. But then again, a very close round, I must admit. Vintage Gamers, their round caused an arm and a leg. 5-7.
They demand a
They
fight.
should be proud of themselves as of now, but still, on the second half, we'll have to find the proper entries as well, because they'll have to realize this. When it comes to the rotations and the counter-aggressions, once again, the Neon's going to be prominent here. And they cannot take it out of the equation quite yet. They'll have to find something of their own.
Five to 7 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. How is this gonna pan out for them going into this pistol round? What more can they do? How can things turn around for them? That's what you're here to find out. Udit, though, on the opposite side. Yep, he's gonna be using his movement to maybe go into a little bit more of a better position. Does he want to take this fight, though, is the real question. Flash comes up. He's gonna be making his way towards the back of sight. Not really the best of positions for the Neon, but if he's able to make it work, then why not? Opportunity.
Escape
Be
as well.
presented still. As you did, stuck on a little bit of an island, but because he is a Neon, plus he has his teammate right above him, that's a pretty good crossfire angle. If they're able to find one kill here, even if it's a trade, it's a very significant advantage for them.
Tell me about it. It's like they're still waiting for it, because they are in the side. There will be a presence on the A side, because there's nobody else in the B's vicinity. Vipers is still expecting something of flank, but not necessarily the case. As of now, you did take some damage. We'll be able to take some cover as well. The shots will be coming in, and now he's diving in! A very risky position, but still, as he knows, there's nobody to be seen, and there's a lot of players looking down the same angle. Will not be risking it, but hopefully for the attackers, they have made the decision to go for a rotation. The Killjoy is predicting that the side of B. Then again, you did! The crosshair is not gonna be on position, as Astrik is gonna take as full advantage of just that, and now the fake has been made after all. The Viper takes full control of the objective, but the problem is the Gecko is already on the top side. Never mind, Tatus! It's also gonna be going down. Mabushka. Find something of his son. He's gonna find that as well. But as of now, the problem is the postman. The 4v3, and now the players are starting to lose a lot of ground, but still the shotguns will be dispatched, will do some damage to Babushka. Never mind, it didn't do any damage whatsoever, as he dodged it in the nick of time. Now, X will be there, shots will be there as well, but still Exly is on the flank, and he's gonna do some Mohammad push-up as well, probably, but it's gonna be Dskun. His own Dskun stuff. PK for him.
That's a perfect hold coming out from them overall here. You gotta love it when you see it. For now, holding down the lines here for them one more time. Let's just see how this round pans out for them here. You can tell that the members of Washed are looking a little bit shaky here on the pistol round, but it seems to be the case all the time that the pistol rounds are not really the best, but when it comes down to their buy rounds, this is where the team really starts to shake things up here. Opportunity still to be taken, as we do see a small little bit of a push-up coming in from Udit over towards the top side. It has been spotted, needs to run away almost immediately. Just a classic in his hand, so Udit is just trying to bait out as much utility as he possibly could here for this entire hold. Batu in the corner, Sheriff in hand, wants to go in for the peek. He should be able to find one kill at the bare minimum. Batu! The survive! No! Udit in hand, he couldn't get away in time. His teammates just not able to give the backup. No guns in the hand of Udit. He's not even going to be able to swing and guarantee a fight. Adoxcol with the spray catches him out. The chances of them finding even more are present here. Dskun being able to take one more duel. Bearer on the back is able to take him out though. The bare minimum one more kill is all that they require to make this a very successful eco round. It's Babushka with a Bucky in his hands to maybe pull off this fight. But I don't even think he's going to be able to get one kill. The weapons just do not favor him. And Adoxcol, with perfect crosshair placement, just shuts him down and brings him back onto it. 7-7. Vintage Gamers, they're still holding strong. have to see exactly how this entire game is panning out for them as well here. You can tell that the defense not really looking the strongest, but they do have the better aim and better confidence, I would say, overall in their own mechanical capabilities. That's why they're taking a lot more of these fights and they're winning out on it in a lot of engagements too. These duels will be helping them a lot more moving forward. They understand that fundamentally Icebox requires you to play as aggressively as you possibly can, because without those aggressive fights, you just don't really lay out the map properly as you would have hoped for. Running it forward though from here, Aduu, it's his turn to maybe push out and be a little bit of a nuisance over on the B side. He does have to worry about all the killjoy setup that is present in that angle.
Out of charges.
Drone in hand, so maybe take a duel, but even then, that's not going to be the case that easily. The Thrash opening things up, pushing it forward, and now the hole is about to start. In towards the back end. One person's flying towards jail. The snowman angle still to be cleared. Perrer with the swing. Beautiful. Catches out Astrik before he's even able to really react towards that fight. Now Dskun. It's the molly in hand, so maybe he can go in for this push, but even that's not going to be that simple for them. Falcon. Good on the angle, but his location completely revealed. Needs to swing out. Takes the fight. Good for the first. He needs to be good for one more, but he doesn't even need it. A beautiful utilization of utility. They're going to be able to catch them completely off guard, and the sound cues just not really giving away that they are trying to go in for a full defuse. 7 to 8 as the members of Washed are...
Turret out.
It's incredible to see. They know how to play their cards right, and Vintage Gamers, they're falling like flies because of it. They need a bit more of a change up to their setups, because unless they start to play a bit more aggressively and start to take the duels and extend out the side, if this Neon is able to gather a lot of space early on, then it's very difficult to try and stop her. She can occupy any space that you have left in a matter of an instance. Early fight again, and Udit, just look at this guy. Zipping and zapping, sliding around wherever he wants. Good for the first kill here. That first kill was a very significant one. Vintage Gamers lost out on Adoxcol, basically making their flanks a lot more weaker than what it was. They have to worry about the fights that could be taken. Batu, disgusting when it comes down to the flicks. He lands the shot. Udit's going to be able to find one more. Stun comes through. Possibly a dash, and it's going to be Udit with another kill of his own. He's doing whatever the hell he wants. Finally gets shut down by Astrik, but at the end of the day, at what cost? 7 to 9 is on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. The hold coming in from the members of Washed. Something that will never change from this team. The defense looks to be indestructible.
Rightfully so. They have came in this game prepared, and looks like they're going to be putting up the show as well, showing off that how dominant they are, and they're not going to really go that easily. And they're also the masters of the meta as well, because understand this, they have invested the time to understand that, okay, what if I try to take an advantage of my opposition and bamboozle them? What are they gonna do? Counter me? And that's exactly how they're finding so much of an opening here. As the attackers, I understand they're trying to play with the pomper picks, and they're not the worst at it. If you play the bare basics of Valorant, it's completely fine as well. But then again, you may end up on a bit of a pickle the moment you are not understanding where your opposition is starting to exploit some factors. But as of now, looks like I have kind of jinxed it, and I'm rightfully so, and I'm gonna be happy if I did so. Because now started to put a really great fight here, as they have the manpower advantage to work with, but now 2v1, as the refrag game is really looking up to the game. The Viper is kind of in the middle of nowhere, as he has the angles to isolate the gunfights for himself. The Adoxcol knows the information, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon, because he just pushed his own smokes. Nice attempt though, but still, it was not even planted for him. 8 to 9, as Vintage Gamers will have one more round to back themselves up, but the driver's seat still favors the side of Washed. But if Washed understands that, hey, we can still exploit their mentality, their momentum, they should be just fine for the at least first map. Just to know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 5 series, as you can see it on the screens as well. Second map is going to be Lotus. Not sure. Yeah, it is actually a map selected by Washed, I just realized. Icebox was selected by the side of Vintage Gamers, so if VG happens to be down on their own map, you may have a harder time on the map loads.
Absolutely, Udit though now popping up the overcharge. And I didn't forget that his wall existed there. There's a reason why that wall is there, so that you don't have to worry about what's coming from your top side, and you can just use the speedway to make your way forward. Bushka able to get out, and the defense, that's perfect. They got the 3 kills, and they're able to get all of their members out. And now they can just hold the side a little bit more passively, but Astrik still hoping to maybe find a duel of his own. Needs to clear the corners beautifully. Babushka on the angle. He's going to be able to catch out Astrik. Didn't really check out the deep side. Elbow here. Dskun. The fight for his own accord. Needs to worry about it a little bit here. Possibility of an 8 to 10 really does seem to be on the cards, as too many members to try and hold this one through. Dskun though, good for the first kill. He still needs to wait this one out. Possibly the plant can go down as well. Will be broken. They still have a chance. 30 seconds left on the clock as Dskun needs to isolate both of these 1v1s as quickly as he possibly can. Possible flake and one
good isolation!
Spotted Falcon. I don't know why he peeked that even. Now it's all up to Perrin. The trash now being utilized.
Oh goodness, sleep tight!
Through the back, and he is now gone. Mohammad. There we go.
This guy is holy moly ravioli.
Man's laughing in the background.
He was able to isolate every single fight, and he also was able to bring his trash. Definitely. Poor all Killjoy. Didn't have any choice to go in, no way to run away either. Not to mention the trash takes a lot of damage to be destroyed as well, and had he done so. You go on.
I mean, there was a chance. There was a chance he could have.
But he would have lacked ammo, perhaps. Even then, it would have been a disadvantage. I'm not saying it was impossible. But hey, I think you're gonna agree with me on this one that this is a round Vintage Gamer needed. The clutch they have on their pockets, a huge momentum boost, is what may allow them to take the map for themselves as washed. Had a good opening, but still. Now they're on the moment of tumble. I think they're on a Nico probably, because I do see I hear a couple of marshals going off in the distance. As of now, the kills are claiming the side of Vintage Gamers in a lot of extents. Gecko's low. He would have died into the Conqueror as well, but as of now, it's all of the pair. It's him versus the world in a 1v5 with the Sheriff in hand. Oh, okay, nice shot. That was nasty, but
good shots.
Not good for the third.
What do you expect coming in from a CS talent?
We cannot expect.
Man knows how to tap his heads.
That we do, but sadly he was not McCree. Oh, I forgot McCree's real name in Overwatch. Cassidy, yeah, but still, Cass were good. But as of now, this time he can go brr mode the next round. Here on out. Side of Watched will have to be a bit more careful because now they're losing ground. It says on their full buy, so this is something they can bank on. But Vintage Gamers, good momentum recovery. As they have the driver's seat, they have what it takes to take things in their own arsenal. And the stacks coming on A side, if the attackers happen to realize, Aggie, that they are stacking A with 4 players, they can just overwhelm the Killjoy. Even that is not a difficult, but not impossible. That might be an option.
There's a pretty good chance that they're going to be able to do it, but even then, a chance is not something that you want to take here. Aduu in a little bit of his own fight, not really worrying about the one that's going to be coming in from the top. Aduu's not going to be able to break the Killjoy lockdown though, so this is pretty bad, but there's a huge gap in towards the back lines. Exly taking a good chunk of damage. In the corner, it's already cleared. Astrik, beautiful consideration for the fight there. He's able to isolate everyone out. The Viper Spit, giving him an opening, but with the defender side of Killjoy lockdown being an even more of a bigger problem, Udit over towards the corner. He's trying to swing out and take a duel, but up against Exly, that's just not gonna work. The man gets 2 kills, but at the end of the day, the Killjoy lockdown is going to be his kryptonite. And Falcon, he will be the executioner for it all. 10 to 10, as both teams, they're neck and neck, trying to take this map of Icebox under their belt. And to take the first map of the series, that is a huge shift in mentality and a boost to your confidence moving forward in this best of 3.
Momentum shift we're seeing in the entirety of the game. This is looking amazing in my opinion because it's really difficult now to predict which team is going to have the upper hand, and this is what we want to see in a grand final, right? So this is not going to be the worst of scenarios because I would say this is exactly where the acceleration of the game is going to be starting to collect itself. But There have been a lot of fumbles from either of these teams, and not to mention these rounds are actually going to 1v1s quite a lot often. More often than we thought it's gonna be, so this is something it's probably an indication that how well matched these teams are, but still. Udit being there and destroying the recon. It has given them a bit more confirmation that there is a player nearby, but still he does find a success regardless. But it is a refrag, so that's something they can bank upon. But as of now, I really want to know why the attackers trying to, stack up on the A side every single time. I understand you are good with the attacks, no complaints there, but hey, you can also try the other objective to perhaps flush out your opposition and maybe allow them or force them to go for rotation. Then you can overwhelm the objective. Because once again, having 4 players on one objective alone, it's going to be really difficult to contest. They have found their success, but it can be said the other way around as well because the opposition were no exception. But as of now, Astrik, good isolations coming in, but Babushka of his own as well. Exly connecting some amazing shots, but needs to confirm the kill, but doesn't find any of those. Aduu will find one though, but still the Sova super low on HP. 2-2, and now the game is really in the favor of the side of Vintage Gamers just because of that Hunter's Free being available, but still Babushka trying to find some moment for himself as well, as the Cruiser is going to have to do a bit more of a heavy lifting here. Rightfully so. Aduu, the Hunter's Free will be baited out as we expected, and now there's nothing to be seen here as all of them are going to be utilized. And now what do you do here, Aduu? You don't have the angles. Babushka can simply stick on it, and he's going to do this there. Nothing to be done here. Aduu's going to be good for that, but so much he can do. Babushka just run away. Or he can just wait up to go for the duel. Recover a Phantom for himself, goes to the space to deny any form of entry, and that's why people say patience is the greatest virtue. He could have waited for that tap. And I must admit that Terror, understanding what he needs to do and cover Babushka, is just a sheer indication of how good the team composition is, Aggie.
Absolutely. The team is just playing the perfect amount of mind games that they need to get a lot of these rounds out. That's the thing. That's what's differentiating both of these squads. It's the adaptability that is being showcased by all the members of Washed. They're changing up their strategies on the defensive side, and they're doing it on the fly for a lot of these duels. Beautiful early take towards the mid side. The execution was perfect, but as long as Perra is still alive and kicking, if he gets one kill here, this is going to be disastrous. Perra is able to get a kill and also survive for a pretty long time. Aduu's already in towards the angle. Udit's in the back, utilizing his speed to the best of his own capabilities, and now he can just slide through, maybe take another fight, and easily go in for another win here. Dskun and Astrik in towards the top side of Tube. The head has been spotted in part 2. He has the angle and the flick just connects. He's good for the first. But he did get startled by the second, but that's completely fine because the last player's already been spotted over on the opposite side. He's trying to make a run for it in towards the A side. Babushka, he heard out on the footsteps, so he's going to be calling him there. An instant run coming in from Udit. He's going to be able to speed his way forward here. 10 to 12 could easily be a possibility. It all depends on how they try to take this duel. And oh no, here it comes. Astrik, good night. Sleep tight. Because the double peak's already there. And Udit goes in for the kill, but he's not going to be able to get it because Babushka has his back and makes sure that his buddy's not going to die. 10 to 12, ladies and gentlemen. As this game looks to be over soon, if this is the gameplay that we are going to be witnessing from the members of Washed.
That's just incredible. The moment he tossed in the recon ball just to understand and confirm the kill. A lot of investment, I must say, but still a really worthy one. Had they went in one by one, it could have been something that Viper could have taken, but still, as of now, they're really looking comfortable sitting on this. Match point for the side of Washed as they try to take away their opposition's map, and they should be very more confident on the map of Lotus once again because it's their own map. Vintage Gamers, we know what their capabilities are, but as of now, they'll have to make sure they goes into the overdrive mode. The adrenaline needs to push in right now, but as of now, it's gonna take a little bit more time because they're starting to lose players one by one. Pautus is still going in to go for the fights of his own, and I don't see this happening as of now, and probably it's gonna be the other way around. Never mind. Astrik, he has taken a lot of damage, so that's gonna be a problem for him, but still, Udit has already isolated the Viper.
There.
He has been positioning himself on the mid side as he knows a lot of footsteps are happening on the A main side, Aggie. And if he can find one and if he can fall back, that's going to be enough for him. Aduu's going to be good for him, but still, Udit's location is still unknown. He can find it probably. The Potato Fest instead. Exly. Hopefully he will be able to make sure that the equalization doesn't quite come in. Perra, good for a second of his own. A double.
This guy just knows the moves.
counter-strafing.
He's moving like Jagger right here. He's already expecting it. He knows that there's a good chance Astrik is going to be over at the top.
mind.
He's not going to be
Last
expecting
player
it though. He gets caught off guard. Poor old Mirror. He did
Yes,
say
sir.
that he hasn't played the game in a while, so I think he forgot that that side has a window now. He wasn't even looking at it. The clear focus in his eyes. You can tell that he was just ready for the fight to come in through come in through the side of Broiler, but instead it was on the opposite. Eshto, this game's getting close. Overtime could just be imminent.
There's a high possibility of that, but I'm not quite sure if I should be on that boat. But I do want to see overtime on the very first map if possible, because that's going to be an indication how close this entirety of the grand finals are going to be. But now, some things which is going to be answered by the mistakes of the players. Even though I will say the mistakes are really going to be a bit more negligible because they're putting up their own fights as well, their strengths as well. Once again, it looks identical to what we've seen initially on the A side take. A 7-5 with the split and looking down to another 7-5 in the second half. That's not the main question here. So they kind of understand this is going to be an identical one, so they're going to be going for a full-on head-on take.
Monster on the loose.
Diesel is going to toss in. They will be able to find pretty much nobody inside the vicinity of the objective, but they have not cleared out the top side. And if this is something they will be banking upon, that's going to be a problem, because I do see players starting to call upon the objective, taking some prime positions as they have fallen back from the trash. So, they can make a rotation. A really good call will be made, but Astrik is going to be on the flank instead. I don't think anybody heard him except for the Killjoy, perhaps. It's going to be a very small audio cue, but if this is there, it's going to be an amazing opening for them. As the Killjoy is gone, hey guys, VSS open! Astrik holds his position to counteract any form of
30
rotation
seconds
in
left.
the midst of the defenders. Able to get off the cage. Get off this Sova at least. Even that looks kind of unlikely because he's not going in. Falcon goes down. Dskun gonna be able to find one of his own, followed by the side of Astrik as well. And looks like Patu's has made the cross, but still location reveal, and now there's gonna be a problem. This is gonna be all up to once again onto Udit. As of the ultimate reveal from the side of what? Never mind. He was waiting a little bit more time, but then again, no, he misses it. Or did he not? Never mind. He did not.
Good for right there.
Now, up to Exly knows exactly where
That's one,
Dion is.
Udit.
Finds the opening probably, but no, Jay is gonna be so much prominent. Finds the first. This is jumping around like a jumping beam.
What is this guy? What is wrong with him?
Defenders win.
Hey, Rapius presence, my guy. He was like, okay, you wanna shoot me? Try to shoot me. He aimbras with me, and there you go, washed. They're gonna be able to take the first map in quick succession and in a very spectacular way as well. But hey, he didn't even shoot back. He was like, hey, what are you gonna do about it? Shoot me? Okay, you're gonna shoot me, but you're gonna run out of ammo at some point. That's exactly where I'm gonna take the fight. He just did. First map. A very interesting one, I must say.
Absolutely. This is the new meta of Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you are keeping up with the style of the game and how it is evolving, you are not going to be able to be competitive at the very topmost echelon. Udit, he's just playing this Neon for the last 2 days or so. This is the new Neon, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the strength that she is capable of right now. And good God, the meta's going to develop even more. Moving on down the line, they're going to be better. Things are changing, and this is what I want. I don't want to see Raisin Jet anymore. I want to see new characters coming into the limelight. ISO, Neon, take me even to Reyna. I don't care. Reyna's now incredible. The stuff that you can do with this character is insane. The potential that Valorant now has to be an esport, I'm not gonna say that it's a good thing.
Unique,
at the same
perhaps.
time, because it's unique. It's no longer the Valorant that we knew. That's the thing. So the way that the game is gonna evolve now is very different. It's no longer going to be the same. Abilities do matter, maybe a little bit too much. So hopefully these teams, they're gonna be able to adapt to that change, and we might just see a brand new team rise up to the challenge and be at the very top. You never really know. But to see exactly more of what these two teams are going to be doing moving on down the line, we're going to be taking a very short little break to set everything up for map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a lot more action.
Gentlemen, welcome back to IGE Community Series, the grand finals of Valorant. And now we're going to be heading to the second map of the day between the side of Washed and Vintage Gamers. Well, I forgot to unmute myself on Discord as it seems, but never mind, continuing. So, the first map was a very close game between both of those sides, but I must say, when it came down to the individual, unique gameplay, it was the side of Washed who played with a bit more of a, unique composition, as I mentioned. So, on the map of Lotus, I do want to see what they have in their heads. What do they have to show on offer, considering this is their own map? Vintage Gamers lose at 10, but now they're on the brink of losing it all on the best of 3 series. I hope they have what it takes to push the third map of Bind, but then again, there's a lot of ifs and buts because we know Vintage Gamers are really amazing players, but they're really amazing when it comes to playing their comfort picks. But hopefully, this map is one of the few maps which will allow you a bit more of a flexibility with the comfort picks because Icebox came back to come play not too long ago, but while Lotus has been here for a very long time, so that's going to be something I'll have to put the ifs and but factors. But then again, the players will have to put up the best of their own games to answer our questions. What do you say, Aggie? What's your prediction?
My prediction is that knowing Washed is going to be incredible to say the very least. Like, this team in particular has really proven to be the squad that can really take it all.
Maybe Aggressive's not here.
But I'm right here. Can't you hear me? Hello.
Maybe not. Never mind.
I think he muted himself.
On this pistol round.
I need this.
Not bad. It's good, it's good, it's good.
Yeah. This guy just had his game tab muted. You gotta love it when you see it.
Accidental moment. Accidental moment.
Resto at his finest.
Go on.
Resto no sense. I am the professional caster that everyone loves. Yes?
Love you too, man. Why you bored away? Why you bored anyway?
He deserves bullying because just as the members of Vintage Gamers, they might just get bullied here too because the team play and synergy that we were shown from the members of Washed just far outweighs anything that we witnessed from the side of Vintage. Vintage felt a little bit more solo orientated. They didn't really have the same level of synergy that you would have hoped for coming out from their team. But maybe it's going to change here for the map of Lotus, a little bit more of a standardized composition. But then again, not really seeing an ISO on this map as well. ISO's strengths are just even better on this map. The stuff that you can do here, it's incredible. Imagine, Christo, it's a 3-sided map. Think about it. 3-sided map, you ISO alt into the A side, you grab someone, your raise goes in, and it's a free site. Even if your ISO dies, you can guarantee a trade on the player that's inside of the site.
That is true.
I don't know why people are not using it.
I guess they haven't quite caught up to the meta yet. Maybe they haven't thought it like that. Probably, because otherwise they would have, certainly. As I said, meta sometimes can really take some time to, get itself. Like, even let's say in the games I play or whatever, I see my teammates tries a little bit to stay vanilla as much as they can. They don't want a change. And this is not a really good, psychology in my opinion, because if a game doesn't quite have a change, that kind of, indicates that game is kind of dead. I mean, not in a player-based scenario, but more like in the development scene. But as of now, the developments are happening. It looks like the developments are going to be favoring a bit more on the side of Vintage Gamers.
One enemy remaining.
Tapping off shares one by one. Astrik for a 4K of his own, and there you go, Vintage Gamers. Take the first round. It looks like they're really angry that they have not been met with the exact same force they have been expecting the first map. Now as they have the exact identical setup from both sides, it's just a matter of which team plays the agents better. And obviously gunplay, nothing else. And as I said on the very ending, with the moment when my tab was muted, Vintage Gamers are one of the few teams who are amazing when it comes to these, static gameplays and the bare bones of Valorant.
Utilizing their basics beautifully here, but how much will the basics help you? I do believe that this map is going to be a little bit more of a different story because both teams have started to utilize the exact same composition, and this is very reminiscent of what we had back in the past, right, Crystal? So not much I do think is going to be changing here in this particular fight. So at the end of the day, it should be okay, but at the same time, you never really know what the members of Vintage are going to be bringing on down. Vintage are going to be bringing on down to the table. It's all about the proper changes here, as I do believe that we had a little bit of a problem here with the overlay. Yeah, this is an admin pause. The overlay is having a little bit of an issue. It should be vintage on the, or am I confused?
Right.
Sorry. Yeah, it should be one for vintage. Sorry, one for washed and one for vintage. I'm confused here. My bad.
No.
It's throwing me off
Actually,
slightly.
the first one, the top one we have is actually for the map, I think. So Watch does have a map. That makes sense. Vintage won the first round on this map, so yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but yeah, it does look a bit
It just completely threw
disorienting,
me
right?
off for a second. Yep.
I mean, rightfully so, because on the right side we had Vintage Gamers on the last map, and suddenly the tables turn, and now we have an oopsie here. But I think the issues have been resolved, probably, as we don't see the chats coming in, but still. Yeah, that's there. Anyways, I think it's looking kind of fine, but... Or I guess it's a technical difficulty of the player side. Maybe they don't use monitors from our sponsors, you know, from ViewSonic. If they had, we wouldn't need a pulse timer.
True. I really do need to get myself a ViewSonic monitor, not gonna lie. 240 hertz.
Use one, I think.
Maybe that's gonna be the thing that. No, I need. No, I have a ViewSonic monitor, but that's only 75.
Yeah.
I need the 240. And it's very
To be honest, I
affordable,
need
mind
one
you.
as
ViewSonic
well.
monitors are probably one of the best
Call it
ones
my
that you can have.
That's there. And at the same time, the pro technology they have. Wait, actually, I forgot the name of this the technology. There was. Let me just the ProTech, that is the one, iProTech one, which actually gives you a bit more of an ease when it comes to using the monitor so that you don't have any stress on your eyes. I mean, think about it, we gamers, we usually spend a long time on the screens, and it's definitely not the best of decisions. That, let's face it, like, you wear glasses, I wear glasses. Had we had ViewSonic monitors, we wouldn't have so high powers, even though the powers do vary sometimes. So it is not necessarily the case. We would have had a bit more of a better eyesight if that was the case. And now, as it's on your screen as well, you can check it out on a lot of shops. With links will be in the description of the stream. So why not get yourself a ViewSonic Omni monitor, the 27 inches or the 24 inches. The monitor names are on the screens as well: VX2479-HD-PRO or the VX2779-HD-PRO. The 271 is the 27 one, and 24 one is the 2479 is the 24 inch one, if I'm not wrong. 24, yeah, my bad. And both of these monitors will give you a 1 ms/1.5 ms reaction time as well. So you never know if these monitors are the ones which is stopping you, the ones you're using, that is, are the ones which is stopping you from hitting Immortal and Radiant. Because I'm pretty damn sure at the moment you get them, you're gonna have the best of your games. So once again, check it in the description. Put your orders as fast as you can. And now the players are looking ready.
Hold it down for as long as you can. Stuns out. And they're already starting to take the duel. You dead. Perfect for the first kill. He's looking for even more. Exly stuck in a little bit of a corner. He's going to be able to get himself out. But Falcon right in the middle of the sky. He's able to bring it back down onto Earth. Exly, he's not going to be happy about this one. Guns straight up forward. Astrik, the flash connects.
Oh my
Four guns to be
goodness.
found, and they still have full control. And Adoxcol though takes down 3, but he's down to only 12 HP. Needs to take the angle at the 5, but Falcon, insult to injury, just slaps him down with a headshot. Good God, what the hell just happened here towards C-Long? Exly, he tried to run away, but don't forget the satchel's movement speed got completely nerfed out compared to before. You now fly slower in the sky, and Falcon got the easiest headshot of his life. Not really an easy headshot, but easier compared to before. The raise is just like how do you put it? Like, what's really slow while flying through the sky? I forgot. God damn it. There was an analogy for it.
Even I forgot, but I know what the one you mean, but even I forgot that.
Satchel out.
But as of now, you know, the vertical takeoffs, actually, it's visible. It's just visible that a raise can take space very quickly, but it's gonna be really easier comparatively to aim down sights and get rid of that, and that's exactly what they did. But the main problem to the side of Vintage Gamers is they lost on so many weapons. It felt like a riot, which was countered by the police forces, but it was the riders who took the victory and took the guns of the policemen. Not going to politics though, but still, it is the side of Vintage Gamers who are starting to fumble quite a bit as they're starting to lose players as well as Perrer.
Calm down,
He's
Perrer.
taking up players one by one. He's low on HP, he doesn't even care. He's just going in regardless with the thanks to the Omen as well. making sure the aggression from the side of C main is gonna be stopped. Even then, the aggression on the side of Wash is just unrivaled. Adoxcol good for one, but entries yet to be made. Oh, no, 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 no. Error goes under the radar. That's gonna be a problem, but still, Udit will dispatch the boom bot, but still, Error being very careful on this angle, and he's just being a bait. Udit's being such a prime player here, Perrer. He make it the easiest kill of his life. He just knows where his twin sister lies. And there you go! There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And Adoxcol's gonna be slightly, pretty much, you know,
Last player
smashing
standing.
his head against the table now. There's nothing their players can do from the side of Vintage Gamers. 2-1. As their players are washed, just gonna get in the base of the opposition.
That was just beautiful coming out from them too. Well executed, they played their cards properly, but at the same time, the ego on this man, Peter, swinging out and taking these fights, even though he's down to 11 HP. Normally, a player would never take that second swing because that second swing is suicide. If two players are holding down on an angle, it's a guaranteed trade, and sometimes you're not even going to be able to find a kill. But for Peter, just another day in the office. Aduu with a stun now in hand. He wanted to utilize it, but he's second guessing himself for that one. So want to use the utility, not really make a lot of noise, and make their way towards the opposite side of the map.
Right there.
Flashes in hand, Patu, he's holding it. Wants to take the duel here, and Peter already swatted out multiple, needs to run on away almost immediately, wait for his team to come in and reconvene onto his position. And as the wait starts to pick up, they're going to be able to run their way in. Exly taking a good chunk of damage. He's down to only 3 bullets instead of the usual 4. They do have to worry about this fight coming in soon enough. 2-1. Now going into a 5v5 retake. How do they want to engage this?
We're going to be putting a lot of utilities inside, but what I want to highlight here is that vertical taker from the Raze is nerfed so much that back in the day we used to see players taking control of C side entirely, the stage itself, but now he can only take control of backwater. But anyways, it's going to be a really... It's pretty much going to be a shit show over here because the players are simply going to be able to isolate the gunfights and flush the players outside of the objective as well. Once again, using the utilizing the nades and stuns at the same time will allow them to have the upper hand. Even the Vintage Gamers kind of look ready for it, but then again, they were kind of a fish in a barrel right there. Couldn't have done so much. Sadly for the Fate, he didn't have the utils to confirm the location of the push. And I think it was the Fate who went down initially, so that's exactly where they kind of fell back as well. So, I did say the side of Vintage Gamers, they are really amazing when it comes to playing the bare bones of the game, but looks like they're really having a hard time now because the aggression of the side of Washed, it doesn't feel like they're able to counter it. They're going to be back on an eco, and once again, on this map in particular, eco rounds can be won very easily. This is something they'll have to be very careful about. The Killjoy goes for a quite aggressive take at Adoxcol. Nice try on the shots, but will not find anything whatsoever as Perez is going to be forcing to fall back. Exly.
Better? Oh, he's dead. He has to die here.
Yeah, he's gonna die to the utility instead. Yeah, he will. He didn't have any choice actually. He was blinded by the lies.
This
so many
is
angles
such
to
a
cover.
one and done angle.
Cover going out.
He was feeling confident, perhaps, in my opinion, because he could have fallen that to fun, but instead he went for the boxes instead. Not quite sure why, but only after I think anything is nothing else. Questionable.
Last player standing.
Once again.
Okay.
But still, the showstopper. Well, yeah, that happened. It was an eco, so I'll give them some slack. They also got the plan down, so why not? But I guess the players inside, they have not quite, paid attention that the Raze had an ultimate, and C side is comparatively easier to retake with the Raze because of the openness. When it comes to A, yeah, you can take a fight, but still you have to jump from the heaven side. Or when it comes to B, you have to take a fight from the top side. That still isolates as some form of angles, but still, when it comes to C side, you have to double guess it. Considering the players have taken CCT, or sorry, C defender spawn, you could have played main instead to push the players or deny the players some fountain, but anyways.
I'll find you.
You have to play this one smart though. Running into it, Falcon. He's in the optimum position for a multi-frag here, and this is just so free. You cannot do this anymore. I don't think people understand that Race. Yeah, she's still good on this map, but you can't satchel across for free anymore. You're just gonna be stuck in the sky. Plus, people have yet to understand how the timing of these satchels are really gonna be working out for them. Falcon. Fully flash still. He's going to be able to find the 2 kills that he needs to bring his team back into it. 5-1, ladies and gentlemen. The members of Washed. They just have a better understanding of this new Valorant that we are playing now. The landscape that we had before, the things that we used to do, is no longer applicable. You need to change your setups. Now, instead of a Raze going there, you need to have your Omen present, or maybe even utilize a little bit more utility to get him towards that angle. Where's the flash? You did not even utilize a flash over towards
Rubble.
Ruins to Rubbles to try and force him there. The Raze cannot do it alone anymore, even more than ever before. Just
really questionable even from my end, if I want to be honest, because I'm not getting an answer from this. Like, what is the exact game plan from their side?
Planted.
Because this defense is not something extremely out of the hat. This is something we've been seeing since the introduction of the map of Lotus. We've seen the players, teams like Exly, Orgles, and so on. Even Judgment's team, I forgot his team. I keep forgetting his team's name. Playing these games every now and then, but somehow they're not able to.
Where are
Probably. But.
Okay, now Xeno
Not
Hunters.
able to find. Yeah, Xeno Hunters. Yeah. So the way they're putting up these fights, it's not something very out of the ordinary. But hopefully, the attackers they have, because the defenders they have taken different respawn control. Dskun good for one, and they're running down the clock as of now. Falcon will be forced to fall back with flashes as well. A lot of investment. I'm not quite sure how many players are going to survive this spike radius, but still. This was a very costly round in my opinion. Hopefully the side of C was empty. They did not quite have anybody near the vicinity. So that was something they were able to capitalize on, but how long would you do that? Because understand this, the attackers, the defenders will realize that, okay, the only round we lost that round, the only reason we lost that round is because we left C-side alone. We could have kept something from the killjoy, and maybe there was something, but as the killjoy was pretty distant from that, it was not active, and now that's not going to work anymore, because look at the composition of the map already. They are so much spread out on the map evenly now. We'll have to take the fights, and that's exactly what they're fumbling. 5-2. I'm really expecting this to be a 5-3, but even that looks a bit more challenging. Hopefully for the attackers, though, they have really amazing ultimates to work with. Adoxcol does have the lockdown. I'm not expecting the Breach to utilize his rolling thunder quite yet, but
Bring them down.
I'm pretty sure the counter is going to be there as well on the side of Watch, because they also have their own killjoy lockdown.
Absolutely. A little bit more of an early fight here. Okay. They're gonna try to force it in, but Molly is now activated. They're gonna be able to wait a little while longer. Good chunk of little bit of chip damage being given on the opposite side, so that's completely fine. Double-sided killjoy lockdowns now being utilized. They're gonna be able to get the plan down at the bare minimum, but even then, at what cost? There's a pretty good angle, though. The killjoy lockdown's not really covering everything that they would have hoped for. They're gonna be able to survive and hold. You dead? Towards the angles, looking for the fight. He does deal a good chunk of damage here. Exely very low on the department of HP, but he still needs to try and survive. The Fade ultimate, the Haunt, really giving him the angle that they need to work with, and the retake is just absolutely gorgeous.
A nightmare.
Utility usage was perfect coming out from them, and the Nightfall just completely disorientates the entire team. 6-2, ladies and gentlemen, and one Fatal is all that they needed to break their way in towards the side. The Breach still has not utilized his ultimate. He still has it, and he doesn't need to use it. I can't stress this enough, Presto. The fact that the Breach still has his ultimate, no one needs to use it, just goes to show the dominance of this team. Vintage, I love the squad. I know exactly what the players are capable of, but they are playing the game of Valorant a little bit too haphazardly. They are not relying on their utility to try and take a lot of this space. They need to make sure that their util trading is on point, because unless we see the util be traded blow for blow, I don't know how they're going to be able to win this.
Absolutely, because the frugality you have seen from the side of Washed as of now, it's just amazing. Because once again, they did try to go for the Killjoy ultimate to do, counteract with the retakes and whatever, but still, even after that, it could have gone otherwise. Because the attackers, I understand they were trying to be very patient with their own Killjoy ultimate because they just wanted to counter that, but they have not quite planned out for the postman because those ultimates could have been much more challenging. The spread was not quite there, but I'm not blaming the side of Vintage Gamers here. Didn't have any choice to work with, and now things are gonna be much more prominent here because now it's all up to Vintage Gamers. Sorry, only one player of Vintage Gamers with low HP to work with. That's not the biggest problem here. This round's technically gone, but the next round is where they'll have to think a lot of things because with that Raze ultimate, that kind of guarantees the next round as well.
Spike planted.
Dskun
Where are you?
does have a stinger, but so much he can do with 4 HP. Location's gonna be revealed as well. They just know he's gonna be around the corners in A side. They can push him together, or maybe Afsar the gunfights for themselves. Regardless, the odds favor the side of Wash in every single scenario, and there you go. He tried to find a 1v1 as he found Babushka not paying attention, but in the nick of time, gonna find that as well. And now 7-2, probabilities of making it as 8-2 is simply unrivaled once again because of that Raze ultimate being present from the side of Udit. And once again,
Wait! Babushka's first skill!
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently
Oh, well.
this is his first skill.
Well, both the fades are having fun, to be very honest. Well, I take that personally because I'm a fade main, but I know what Aggressive's gonna say. We've been here before, Aggie, but anyways. Yeah, circumstances. But yeah, as I was saying, as Arthur's ultimate is still available, so is available from the side of Udit. I think you will agree that this round leans a lot more towards the side of Washed, unless they fall. Aduu. Under the lights, Udit going for a very aggressive take without any backup. Nice try with the ultimate, but didn't fall back. Yeah, not sure what happened there.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit more of a hassle here. You're gonna be running away towards the other opposite side now. Losing out on your race on this early fight as he was trying to utilize his ultimate.
Right there.
Really just put a damper on their overall plans. A side looking a little bit empty. They're going to be playing for a full-scale retake, and I understand why, because they do have the Rolling Thunder to play around with. Timing is going to be key for it all, though. Aduu, you cannot die. Adoxcol doesn't really have the angle that he wants anymore because of the smoke. Over towards the corner.
Why did he reload?
And yep, Aduu, I have no idea why he reloaded in a high-traffic zone. He did take the L for that one. Falcon does have a little bit of a smoke to play with, but he's only going to be good for one. 7-3, and mistake after mistake just lost him this round. It seems as though it's just the flaws of the individual talents of the side of Team Wash, which is going to cause them to lose here. They took every individual gunfight that they could. They didn't invest enough utility to try and force the Raze forward, because don't forget, Raze does not travel as fast and as far anymore. That means you need to invest a little bit more utility to make sure that she can take the space, get into position to utilize that ultimate properly. And then, when it came down to the late round, Crystal, they just kind of turned off their brains entirely.
That is true, but I'm not sure why did that happen. Like, I don't find an answer to that. I understand maybe they were feeling confident, but then again, this is not how you play confidently. Look at Exly, man. This is so sad. Back in the days, you would see Exly, or should I say any race player, taking off like a plane. But not this way anymore. It just feels like a speedboat jumping in the waves, but as of now, Postman will be there, Pathos will be finding one, but he's gonna be traded off instantaneously. Adoxcol finding one of his own on the Udit. And now looks like suddenly the players of Wash, they have nothing to find it. They have nothing against their opposition, because now they're losing all the momentum they're having. And looks like on the current scenario, making a 7-5 split is gonna be a really possible one, and a really commendable one as well. Because if they can do it, and if they can keep the momentum in their favor, the side of Vintage Gamers should be just fine on their own defenses, and washed. They will be washed if they keep it up like this. 7-4. The Rolling Thunder is still available, but this needs to be in proper timing and proper position. Not to mention, this is the last one as well. If you don't use it now, it's just not gonna be commendable in any regard, in any scenarios.
Gotta make it a little bit more of a forward push out for this one though. Better over towards the back. He's playing defensively again. They want to utilize this breach ultimate, but these breach ult needs to come in as quickly as possible. Exly understands that a side extension is a must, knowing what's waiting for them on the opposite side. They can't play for the front lines. Where is the ult? Batu, just throw the ult!
I don't think that's gonna be happening, man.
This man, I don't know what to say. This has been a problem that he has for the longest time. He does not want to use his ult. It missed Astrik. It's over already. In the corner, one fight. Maybe Falcon's going to be able to find a kill, but even then, it's going to be a little bit more of a problem. Smoke in hand. Patu's going to be on the bottom floor. Maybe he's going to be able to survive this one. Jump through over from the top side. Adoxcol is expecting it. And the fight is gorgeous.
Switching sides.
He was standing on the opposite side of waterfall. He could have easily thrown his ult. It would have affected his teammates. I kind of understand why he didn't want to throw it, but it's fine because your teammates are regardless gonna die there. Someone could have lived if you just ulted and then swung out and took the duel. This is a problem that Patu has for the longest time. There's a reason why a lot of teams have shifted him away from that breach and put him on the raise. And I understand you have Udit on your team, arguably a little bit more of a better race player than you, but still, you need to make the right calls when you have those ults. The breach ultimate is just so potent. He only used one breach ult, Christo. One breach ult on the entirety of the defensive half. That should not have happened.
That is true. Not to mention, you mentioned it could have been a fatality or a casualty from both sides, but even after that, think, right? Both the players would have been, concussed, and they would have shot in a very slow fashion at each other. The casualty would have been much less. So really surprised that they couldn't get their heads together, because sometimes having that, injured teammates are actually having. How do I put it? Having injured teammates are better than having dead teammates. Sorry for the mumble there, but I think you also understand that it was in a scenario, it makes us speechless as well. That we don't know how the hell did that go down and how the hell was not that utilized. Once again, that was the last round, but whatever. Let it be. As we move on, 7-5, the side of Watch does have a lead to work with, but it does look unlikely if they can hold on to this. We'll be seeing some form of utilities invested onto the C side. Utah will be able to take some form of control, but don't go in! Never mind, he's gonna find regardless success. Adoxcol? Not quite expecting that, but still. This is a moment. We'll have to find their own frags here as the attackers are starting to, spread around the map for themselves. Flashes are gonna be there, as will be applicable from the flash concussions. 2-3.
Last player.
A very commendable position, but I don't think this is gonna go too far because Astrik was good for one, but not the secondary. 8-5 as Watched keeps up their momentum, moves on forward to make sure this map is gonna be there as well. Wrap it up on the best of 3 series in the grand final.
Placing sentry.
The way they're able to do it too is just beautiful. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was saying that the team we know, Vintage Gamers, it feels like it's not the same team. The ones we've seen in the VBC or in past tournaments, even the first map, Aggie, doesn't feel right. Am I the only one who thinks that?
Say it again. Sorry, your voice cut off.
I said, sorry, my bad. I was saying that the team we know, Vintage Gamers, as right, whether it be from the VBC tournament or any LAN tournament or in particular, it doesn't feel the same team. That's number one. And secondly, Vintage Gamers, on that particular pistol round, that is, the way they played it, kind of felt like the team we saw them on the last map, on the map Icebox, they're really falling shorter. Like, it shouldn't happen like this. They had angles, they had positions, but somehow they're just giving away the gunfights to the opposition. I don't get it. Is it just me, or maybe it's me? I don't know.
I guess it's just that they're not really feeling confident in the way that they're playing their playstyle. There's a thing, like, Vintage Gamers, they'll always make it to the finals of a tournament, but they're never going to be able to win it because that's their curse. There's like a saying about this in the community. It's just one of those curses that they still have not been able to break, and that could just be taking a toll on their mental. They don't know how they're going to be coming on back from this, but it could be a little bit of a different story moving on from that one, though. As that's the thing. The way that the team plays, it's good. I like their play style. It's good old basic Valorant, but that's the thing. It's just basic Valorant. As soon as you fight against a team that has the similar level of basic Valorant to you, what will differentiate you from them? What will make you a better team? Not much. Unless we can change that soon, it's not going to be looking that good for them at all.
Completely agree with you there. But thanks to our sponsors at ViewSonic, we are having these type of tournaments, and I hope we will be having more sponsors down the line for more tournaments where the side of Vintage Gamers does have an opportunity to break their curse. But as of now, it's just something they'll have to help themselves on. And I still hope the curse can still be broken on this map in particular, because they still have a lot of breathing zones to work with. But in order to allow themselves to that breathing zone, they need to have 3 more rounds in their arsenal, move on to the third map, and then maybe, just maybe, they'll be having the best of their scenarios. And maybe they're gonna have the moment they've been waiting for such a long time. But as of now, there's a Wash. He's going for W gaming of their own, as you did. Takes control of Fountain and at the same time backside as well. Going for more because he just knows his opposition's not going to be having that much of an opportunity because of the obvious. It is an eco from their side. Aduu. That's going to be good, but still it needs to connect. But it's going to be Udit, blinded by the light, but still he recovers the kill. He doesn't care, and he's fearless on these fights.
One enemy remaining.
For more. All of the raise now. It's Exly. He knows he's going to be hunted down. Good for one, but not the secondary. Will do a good chunk of damage, but still. Damage is not going to be counted here. 9 to 5. Vintage Gamers will be good for a full buy here or not, but still, this is where their final stand is going to be applicable. They cannot pick up the momentum right here, right now. Their opposition is going to be sitting on double list very comfortably, and that's going to allow them to have 2 more rounds, or should I say, from this position at least, 4 more rounds to go and put themselves as the champions of this tournament. Gamers, I understand they have a lot of pressure, and I'm not going to be, you know, calling them out here. I can, to be exact. They're trying to level best, but it's a heavy lifting. They'll have to right now.
Yikes, you dead. Stuck down in towards the corner. He's going to take a good significant chunk of damage over on the opposite side. The trades are coming in from either end, though. The defenders, they're always going to be the ones to come out on top of it. Ultimate in hand, Falcon. He just needs 1 kill to maybe open things up. It's all up to you, Dead, to maybe find a sneaky angle over onto 1 and maybe get this kill. But the positioning coming in from Exly is just way better. That's one angle that no attacker is ever going to check. The fight to be had. The corner, beautifully held.
So the barrel
already spotted, and the pre-fire is just beautiful. Pocket's gonna be able to shut down 1 more. In this round, very much winnable. Adoxcol towards the top, but he's not gonna be able to take the duel. A beautiful 3 versus 2 coming in from the players. And I love the angle, but that's not an angle that you play normally without a teammate jiggling for you over towards Link. There has to be a player towards the Link side who will jiggle. Unless he does that, anyone who walks up towards the angle will be able to spot your gun barrel and instantly kill you. 10 to 5, ladies and gentlemen. And the mistakes being made are sticking out like sore thumbs for the members of Vintage Gamers. 2 more rounds until match point. This is not looking good for them.
Absolutely not. It'll look much more worse if they keep up with these mistakes. And I understand it was an eco, but going too deep with a utility, but no backup up. So again, it's 1 gun regardless. I don't care if you got some damage or not. You are not able to inflict enough, but still Aduu good for 1, but still needs to find a lot more paths. Good for double of his own. Make it a triple actually. Adoxcol. Ending 1, but it's really looking tremendous. Aduu good at 10, but he's not gonna go too far, and Pathos with a 4Ks of his own. And now 11 to 5. This game is really leaning to the brink of destruction up on the side of Vintage Gamers, as they're not having too much of a breathing zone to work with. 6 rounds is in the question, just to make an equalization. Not even the comeback. It's gonna be troublesome for them. They're kind of allowing them as well. Once again, W gaming, they're showing off. I'm not complaining, but come on, you can do better than this, Vintage Gamers. I've seen you in the previous tournaments. This is really gonna punish them down the line. There's nothing else to say about this.
Satchel out. Grenade.
It's gonna be a tough
Real
call.
estate.
Yeah. They're just gonna W key their way in for this entire fight. Nothing to really worry about for them. The fight.
Face your
Cat
fear.
here. You dead. Over towards the
Excuse me?
corner. Immediately with the swing. Look at the utility usage. It is absolutely gorgeous. Man doesn't have the bullets to keep this one going. But considering the Nightfall completely clearing on the angle, that's more than enough space that the attackers could have asked for. Patu's going to be going in for the final kill. Last one to be spotted. Falcon in the corner. Exly's going to be good for one kill, but Terror. Instead, it's going to be the one for the trade. The Emperor of Valorant in this scenario. Man, make sure his team will not lose a single round. 12-5, ladies and gentlemen. Is team washed? They don't seem washed at all. They seem to be seeking vengeance, but they're doing it in style.
Could have not said better myself. And this is where they're gonna struggle a lot more because look at the economy. They have guns, but this is where they're kind of backed against the wall. They have nothing to do as of now, but we're Adoxcol! Nice timing and the good positioning as well. This is gonna be good for one, but still, some advantage has been found by the side of Vintage Gamers as they have a 3-2 situation, but they need to recover the guns as well for themselves. Astrik. Rendezvousing with the race probably, but still, that kind of looks unlikely. Emperor.
Once Better got the kill?
One enemy remaining.
No way!
Well,
Astrik!
never mind.
Astrik
Never
whiffed!
mind.
He whiffed the shot!
Never mind.
Attackers win.
He whipped on a player who was paranoid by the paranoia. Still, the adrenaline kind of got to the best of them. It's kind of sad for the side of Vintage Gamers. But they could have taken the last round, but then again, the adrenaline, the pressure was just way too much on them, and they just couldn't find the opening. And that's kind of sad that they just didn't have what it takes. But I'm not blaming them, mind you. They really tried to level best, but it kind of felt like on the second map, they really fell short. But I have to compliment the side of Team Washed because they chose the map for a reason, and they have shown why they did that because they were ready for it and they came prepared. Probably they have also seen the VODs of the players of Vintage Gamers as well on this map previously, so they knew how to counter them as well. The sheer aggression from the side of Team Wash was just unrivaled, and rightfully so. They will be watched by the other teams as well because they will be a team to be reckoned with. As we have the champions on our screens, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting logo, I must admit, but the players have certainly earned it as they kind of gave the side of Vintage Gamers a run for their money, then they just stole it for themselves. A best of 3 and a very clean best 2-0 as well.
The players just knew how to do the best of the best here for this particular matchup. And the side of Washed, we kind of expected them to win because they just have that talent on their team that can really be unrivaled by pretty much anyone. It's tough to say, but something that a lot of teams have to expect. But for my opinion, I would say the members of Vintage Gamers just did a pretty good job, I would say. They knew how to play the game of Valorant well. They had the strong fundamentals, but they still haven't yet found their identity of what will separate them from a lot of the other great teams. And Team Wash, they had that separation. They knew how to have proper synchronization of utility. You could tell that every single time you then made a push, there was some form of utility right behind him to make sure that he could guarantee a pick. And that's the thing. That synergistic nature, very few teams have it in Bangladesh, and Team Wash being one of them is one of the biggest surprises because this is still a ragtag group of friends who are coming together to play in a tournament, and they still have that perfect sync. And moving on down the line with all of the recent changes that there has been, it's going to be even better down the line here. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all that we have for you for today for this entire tournament. Thank you all for participating and stopping on by for this community series. We're going to be back with a lot more tournaments moving on down the line because IGE, they love the community and they are trying their level best to bring you a lot more Valorant action. And thank you all for watching, and of course the players for playing. And make sure to check out the links down below in the description to check out ViewSonic and their wonderful monitors. I'm going to be possibly grabbing one for myself because I'm very happy with my 75 Hz and I want to upgrade down the line into a better one so that maybe I can be on the competitive field one of these days. But for now, good night and happy gaming, everyone, because we're going to be seeing you soon with a lot more Valorant action from IGE. So ViewSonic.